What's going on, people? This is Gaby, baby, that same OG, and I'm back for episode 3 of my Washington football team franchise on Madden 22. So I'm going to be going over the recap of the simulated football game with the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. I'm going to talk about what's going on in the league, talk about the playoffs, and just some news and stats. I'm going to go over the team's 2022 salary cap for next year, the plan for next year. Going over some of our eligible players that are would like to re-sign with us, or maybe they might not want to re-sign with us. Some of the positional 2022 free agents in the NFL outside of the Washington football team, and our prospects for the 2022 draft. We need a franchise quarterback, and so this is going to be a longer video than the previous one. So in week 15, the Philadelphia Eagles pretty much blew us out 45-24 in Philly. They just overall played a much better game than us. They had about 43 more total yards than us. They didn't have much rushing yards. They only had 25, but they blew us out in the passing game with over 300 yards. We had 4 turnovers to their 1, and we had 25 penalties to their 5. So, like I said, he just played better than us. Jalen Hurts with 361 passing yards, 156 rating. Taylor Heinicke, 59.5 rating and 215 yards passing. 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and Hurts had 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Our running back Gibson had 89 yards rushing with an average of 5.2 yards per carry. Heinicke ran the ball a few times with 5.7 yards per carry, and Miles Sanders only had like 10 yards for the Philadelphia Eagles, their running back. For the receiving game, Jalen Reagor, their wide receiver, had 7 receptions for over 125 yards. The same with Devontae Smith, had 6 receptions over 120 yards. Our top receiver for the Washington football team was Cam Sims with only 66 yards. Terry McLaurin had 4 receptions for 36 yards. So we couldn't really do much in the passing/receiving game. On the defensive side there, cornerback Avonte Maddox had the highest solo tackles with 9. Right behind him was Cole Holcomb, our left outside linebacker. And here are the stats for you all to look at. So I wanted to do a real quick recap of all the games we played this season. Starting off with the Chargers, we lost to them 20-16, and this is the real live scores from these dates since I just picked up the franchise in the middle of the season. We won against the Giants 30-25 in Landover, Maryland. We lost to the Bills, got crushed 43-21 in the loss. The Falcons, we beat them 34-30. Saints, we lost to them 33-22. Chiefs 31-13. Packers 24-10. That was a loss. And the Broncos, we lost to them by 7 points. So the next week we went into the bye in week 9. Then the following week, week 10, we played against the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. We beat them 29-19 in Landover at home. Week 11, we played against the Carolina Panthers in North Carolina, and we beat them 27-21 with Cam Newton at the quarterback. And then the next week, we played against the Seattle Seahawks, Monday Night Football. We beat them by 2 points. The Raiders, you already saw that first episode game. We beat them 19-0. Cowboys, we got smacked 29-28 in Landover. And then the last week, we just lost to the Eagles 45-24. A quick update to the NFL playoffs. On the NFC side, the Minnesota Vikings are in the wild card now. The LA Rams are out of the playoff picture for now. And on the AFC side, the Cincinnati Bengals are out, and the Indianapolis Colts are in for the wild card. So for the stat leaders, you have Tom Brady that's up there for passing with over 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns already. You have Jonathan Taylor from the Colts running over 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. For receiving, you have Cooper Kupp doing his thing for the Rams, 1,300 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns caught. Devontae Adams is behind him. You got Myles Garrett. He's the sack leader in the NFL with 14 sacks and 15 tackles for loss. And right behind him is Marcus Golden from the Arizona Cardinals. And Trayvon Diggs from the Cowboys leading the league with 9 interceptions. And you have Bobby Wagner with nearly 150 tackles for the year. So those are some pretty good stats. And I just wanted to highlight the fact that Adam Humphries, our wide receiver for the Washington football team, when I started this franchise, he was not on the team on the Madden, but he was on the actual football team in real life. So I don't know why he's signing with another team. He should have been on my team. But anyway, we're going to upgrade our right end, James Smith-Williams, second year with the Washington football team. Upgrade the speed rusher. Give him a 63 overall for that trait. And overall, he's a 65. So I wanted to go over some of the possible re-signings for our players that are eligible. We have Brandon Sheriff, superstar, right guard. He's a Pro Bowler. He's probably a definite for us to re-sign him at $41 million for over 3 years. You have Charles Leno Jr. That's a possible since he's a 79 overall rating, and he's only, I think he's right at 29, so we could sign for 3 years for his contract. We had J.D. McKissick, that's probably a no. He's getting up there in age. We have Bobby McClain, he was a 1 year signing, probably no. He's only a 74. We have Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's 38. He's going to be 39 next year. That's definitely going to be a no, just because he's getting older and we are looking for a franchise quarterback. And the rest of these players on the team, they're probably a no. John Bostic, he's 30 years old. He's only 73 overall. We have Joey Sly. He's 72. He's only 25 years old. He has a huge leg. Power. His accuracy is 75. It's just, I'm not sure about him. We might have to look for someone to draft. Cornelius Lucas, a good veteran backup, left tackle or right tackle. Maybe Cam Sims. Maybe if he gets better. He's still young. Come on, Alabama. Ricky Seals-Jones, I'm not that interested right now. David Mayo, probably a no, but he'll be a good backup. But for $4.62 million for 2 years, probably not. Antonio Gandy Golden still has potential. Maybe not. Corn Elder, I'm not sure. So a lot of these players that are on the lower rating, the lower tier, I'm not 100% sure if I want to really continue to have them on the team, because I'm really trying to build a Super Bowl winning franchise with the Washington football team. And I'm not sure how long this process will take. So I'm trying to figure out how do I want to build this team based on our salary cap for next year and the years to come, and everything that's going on in the league with the players that are available, and maybe we just want to look in the draft, So going into our salary for 2022, so I added up all of our salary for 2022, and we're coming to about $153 million for 2022. Right now, we're at 169 for this year. The salary cap is $213 million. I'm assuming it's going to be like that next year, but some of our players on here, just looking at, possibly releasing some players, maybe like Landon Collins, where we can get some type of savings back from based on the savings and penalty and just doing the math right there. If I'm coming through with a negative and I'm losing some money, I'm not sure if I'm willing to take that loss. It just depends. But I think we're standing pretty good when it comes to the salary cap. for next year and just this year. So we have some room to improve, but I think this franchise needs to continue to build the right pieces. But we're not a winning franchise yet. It's probably going to take a couple of years for us to even make it to the playoffs. We just signed Logan Thomas to a 3-year contract. He's going to have 2 years left next year, and he's making a good amount of money for his overall being a 77. You got Schweitzer, left guard. He's only a 70 overall, but he's making like $6 million next year. So I might be willing to sacrifice keeping him on a team with we actually saved $2 million considering the penalty. So we would save $4 million for him, but the penalty would be $2 million. So we would still be saving about $2 million. Then Montez Sweat, he's pretty good. He's an 82 overall. I definitely want to keep him on the team, but we have a couple more years on this contract, so we don't have to worry about him for next year. And right here, I just wanted to look at Tressway, our punter. He's an 82 overall, and just compare him to some of the punters that are in the league right now. I definitely want to keep him on the team for years to come. He's 82. He's somewhat young. Then we have Antonio Gibson. I think he's 24 years old. Yep. 23 years old. He's definitely going to be he can definitely be a franchise running back. And Terry McLaurin, he's a 91 overall right now. He's our X Factor player. I believe he's our only X Factor player on the team. But I think he's signed on for maybe 2 more years after this season, so we don't have to worry about him. But I know his contract is low compared to what he's actually worth. So I know he's going to want to sign a huge contract deal, I think, by 2023. So we just have to be cognizant of that as we're looking into our salary. But I'm looking at this salary right now this year because, to be honest with you all, since our record is 6-8, we really need to start evaluating our team for next year and maybe even in 2023 if we really want to build a Super Bowl team. So I have to really evaluate the players on our team and just take a deep dive look at some of our players. J.D. McKissick right here, he's a good running back. He's mostly a receiving running back. He has some elusiveness. He has decent speed. He can catch the ball well, kind of like Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson can run for speed. He's real balanced, but I think J.D. McKissick is mostly speed and catching. So I'm not sure if I want to re-sign him. He's 28 years old, so he's not that old, but maybe there might be some running backs out there that we can actually use, and these are some of his stats for this year. When it comes to receiving, last year he had nearly 600 yards for receiving, and this year he's coming close to 500. Then we have Tim Settle. He's an eligible re-sign. Since his contract is running up this year, he's a 76 overall, so that's pretty good. But considering the fact that we have Jonathan Allen, which is like a 92, 93, we have Deron Payne. Both of them are signed for next year. Deron Payne, I believe, his contract ends at 2023. And we have Jonathan Allen. His contract ends in like 2025 or 2024. So I'm not worried about the defensive tackle position. So we can let Tim Settle go. You have Jamin Davis here. Just wanted to show you some of his stats. 60 tackles, 39 solo tackles, 21 assists, 4 tackles for loss. He has 1.0 sacks. And this is our first round pick from the 2021 draft. And I'm looking forward to seeing what his hidden trait is. Same with De'Ami Brown. He has a ways to go for us to find his hidden trait. So I want to really see if I could possibly use him at some of our games at the end to really see if we can find out what his hidden trait is, to see what the future holds for some of our young players on the team. So let's take a look at some of the positional free agents for the 2022 free agency around the league outside the Washington football team. You see here we have Jason Peters. He used to be a Philadelphia Eagle, Pro Bowler. He's very old. 39 years old, 17 years in the league. I'm thinking maybe we can sign him to a 1-year contract. He's making $1.53 this year. He might ask for close to that for next year, or maybe a little bit more, depending on if he regresses or he improves. You have Mekhi Becton out of Louisville. He's in his second year right now, but he's pretty much signed up throughout 2023. But I was just thinking about him as a possible trade. I believe he's a superstar at 82 overall. So that means he's going to get pretty good pretty fast. So we can definitely use a person like him. But if we were to get a person like him, that means we would probably have to trade maybe a first round pick, at least a first round pick, or another high pick of first or second. Then you have Armstead from the New Orleans Saints. He's 30 years old, 8 years in the league. He's a 94 overall. That's huge. He's a superstar. I would love to have him on my team. He's going to be a free agent next year, but he's getting 9.5 a year. Well, this year, so we did sign him, and I like the fact that he's a pass protector. If we did sign him, I would, if I had to take a guess, I would say he probably wants double than what he's getting, maybe $16 million per year. So that's a lot. And then you have Dwayne Brown from the Seattle Seahawks, 82 overall. And I just want to take a look at Aaron Rodgers, see what his contract looks like. He's not going to be out of his contract till 2022. He's an X-Factor player, 96 overall. I would love for him to be on the Washington football team. I think he could possibly take us all the way. With Terry McLaurin, you have Antonio Gibson by the time he comes here. But he's 37. By the time he gets here, he'll be 39. If he does decide to come to Washington, or if he's even still in the league, I'm hoping that he would at least be a 90 overall. But I'm just not. I don't think we should plan on him coming. That's a risk, and we should just look forward to our franchise quarterback in this year's draft or next year's draft. But we'll go more into the franchise quarterback prospects. I think there's a decent amount of them, like 4 of them that are in the first through the second round. And I think we need a first or second round franchise quarterback for this team. So here are our scouts. We got John Hunter in Central Region, and he's good at scouting outside linebackers. And you're going to really see as I go into some of the outside linebackers that he scouted, that he put a lot of work in, because some of them have 70 and 80% overall scouted. And we definitely need some outside linebackers, because we only have Cole Holcomb and I believe Bostic, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So here's the top prospects in the draft. You got the cornerback Rashad Fleming, Joe Spitzer, best quarterback in the draft. And I'm going to tell you this draft right here has a plethora of quality, good, solid cornerbacks that could probably start right away for any NFL team. And I think there's going to be a lot of spillage with them possibly being drafted in the 4th round. They're actually worth a first or second round pick. So I'll go over that later. So I want to take you on to some of our quarterback prospects. Joe Spitzer is out of Clemson. He's 6'3", 233 pounds, 22 years old. His physicals are okay. He has elite strength, good throwing power. His awareness is an A. Breaking sack is a C. And then I like to see that his trucking is A. So that means that maybe he's a runner, Then you have R.J. Holcomb from California, 6'4", 226 pounds, 1 year younger than Spitzer. Some of his physicals are elite for strength, elite for throwing power, great acceleration. He's a decent runner. Actually, he's pretty slow. C, throwing the rope for his skills, and C for injury. I'm a little bit worried about the injury and the stamina, since his stamina is a D. Now, this is the quarterback that I would really like to have for my team. Some of these player notes, I don't think they really apply if you're actually playing them in a real game. But if they're simulation, it's good to know like how fast they throw the ball, or I can still use in the game for how fast they can throw the ball too. But look at these physicals. He's elite almost across the board for his throwing power, his strength. And granted, these quarterbacks have been scouted at 40% rating. His carry is A, injuries A, throw accuracy deep is A. And so I like seeing that stuff like that. So be aware of Kenny Cohen. I think he's out of Vanderbilt. And yeah, Caleb Sirai out of Georgia, playing in SEC. He's 6'5", 240 pounds. Great throwing power, good to great throwing power. Throwing the run is a C, stamina is an A. Stiff arm is a D. Throwing under pressure is a B. That's a good one. I like that. And he's a first to second round projection. Then you have Gordon Stafford out of Missouri, 6'3", 230 pounds. Second to third round projection. Elite power, I like that. Strength is good. Spin move is a F. Throwing the run is a C. Juke move is a F. So he's a pocket passer, I can tell. And then just looking at the left tackle, Grant Adams, because we might need a left tackle. He's a first rounder. I think he actually played from Vanderbilt with Kenny Cohen also. Awareness A, injury B, run block, I don't like that. That's a D. Just thinking about the left tackle position, since we might have to re-sign, or might not sign Charles Leno Jr. And so you can see the plethora of cornerbacks that they have. But they have about 11 cornerbacks that could go in the first or second round. So like I said, it's going to be some spillage. So we might just grab a cornerback, even though we don't really have to worry about it too much based on what Madden says. And this is Rayshon Moses from USC. He's the last cornerback that could go in the first or second round. I just want to take a look at him and possibly favorite him. And then just before him is Tevin Clemens out of Utah State, 6 feet. Speed is great. Acceleration is elite. Awareness is a B. Catching is a B. Injury is a B. 40% scouted. And then the right outside linebacker, Brent Bossa out of Alabama. He's only 6 feet. He's a speed rusher. Based on his notes, he's probably a pass rusher. Elite across the board. Great and a good when it comes to speed and strength. So we want to be aware of him. He's a second and third round projection. A coverage, B zone coverage, A for man coverage, by the way. And awareness is A. So I'm definitely going to take a look at him and favorite him. You got Alex Harris. And so you'll see as we go through these outside linebackers, since my scout did a lot of work with them, I think I favorited about 3 outside linebackers. And you'll see Alex Harris out of Penn State. Zaire Barnard, I favorited him out of Notre Dame. I definitely want to do the work in the scouting department because I'm really trying to build this team based on some of the prospects that we draft for the Washington football team. I'm not sure how free agency is going to be, but we'll see. I favorited Matt Duncan out of USC. He's a third to fourth round projection, so he's 80% complete. So I feel real comfortable with some of these outside linebackers that have been scouted heavily, and we're in, I believe, week 15 already, so this is looking good so far when it comes to the scouting of our key positions in the draft. And so this concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it. On the next video, we're going to be playing Dallas at A&T Stadium, and I just wanted to really go through the behind the scenes of the Washington football team. Hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.